You think you spot some figures, definitely not giant size, normal humanoid size that look to be about um, Grey's build or somewhere between Grey and Blam's build. Just dark figures further down the stairs that are just seemingly stood 3 abreast on the stairs, kind of crammed in a bit together. Otherwise unmoving. Stood.
Unmoving.
Yeah, just
Creepy.
standing there. You think maybe 150 feet down the stairs from where you guys are.
And they're just dark figures standing there.
Yeah.
Are they looking this way? Can't tell.
With your perception check, can't really tell. You know that as the sun is beginning to crest the horizon, if they stay there, you'll definitely be able to see more detail soon.
Hmm. Yeah, she's just gonna have her focus right on them, see if they move until she can see more.
Maybe a minute passes. There's no movement. Second minute. Nothing. Halfway through the third minute, figure in the middle of the 3 just raises a hand towards where you're watching.
Ugh.
Your waving hand, but just held in the air, not waving back and forth. And then the 3
Oh.
figures seem to turn and head down the stairs.
Oh fuck. Okay, but they're going away now. At least.
Yep.
Well, I guess I'll note that down. Strange.
Yeah, and as your focus comes away from the spyglass and towards your notebook, you shift your body to reach for it. You notice that the area of your bag where you keep the cube is burning hot.
No. She she looks around to see if everyone's sleeping still.
Seemingly so.
She pulls the bag up onto her lap and just pulls the thing halfway out of the bag to have a look at it.
Yeah, and as you pull it out, it feels so hot that you kind of flinch at first before you realize that even with its extreme heat, it doesn't damage your skin at all. You're able to hold it and just feel this heat emanating from it. There's a sense of... Yep, go ahead.
No, you go ahead first.
There's a sense of heat, but also of energy or power that kind of flows up from the cube into your hand and your arm. And you notice that one of the other sides hadn't yet been marked on the cube. Has now been marked.
Oh, shit.
And on it is the easily distinguishable image of a coiled snake.
She sort of fumbles with it within her hands for like a minute. Does it cool down? Does it stay warm?
It stays warm.
Oh, I don't know what you are, but I've got some questions for you. And she sort of pokes the box.
And as you poke it, a crack forms further around from the crack that was there before. And a small piece of stone falls from where it's cracked onto the ground, and as it strikes the ground, there's an instant flash of light and a little puff of smoke, and there's no piece of stone left on the ground. And you start to see some of your companions begin to stir around you from that flash of light.
She shoves it back in her bag. She's like rumbling a little bit. Don't really know about. Yeah, mumbles to herself and then stands up.
Yep.
It's the end of that for now. She's gonna go greet everyone. Morning.
Yep. As you walk around and say morning, you just feel this endless heat just knocking against your side as you walk along with your bag.
Yeah, you see she's Got a little bit of a nervous twitch to her in the morning, but she's otherwise looking okay.
Okay.
Everyone
A
else.
new day dawns. Could I have... Who hasn't rolled yet? Let's have... Gray... No, let's have Ethelbert. Could you roll 3d10 for me, please?
I think I did the weather last time. Was it the time before? Pretty sure I did.
You may well have done. What you got for me, Ethelbert? You're doing it.
My dad's favorite.
Oh, that's a weird one. Apologies. Lost my place. There it is. So we're now on the 23rd. Nightor. 7 days away from a new year.
Mhm.
Third. Right, what do we get? Total of 17, but we go 9. So okay, interesting. 9, 7. So this high up. The weather is as tumultuous as ever. Okay. So as you're all beginning to awake in a new day in your little cave, as Ethelbert pops back out of the rock wall, freshly slept, you hear an ominous, unwelcome sound. As a storm seems to have brewed up in the night as the clouds gather around the peaks. It's a nasty one. It's as if the mountain itself roars and casts bolts of fierce lightning down upon you. What will you do?
She.
One count thing we can do. Get going, yeah?
Yeah, you want to head out into the storm?
Whoa.
Can't stay here.
Yeah. It's just a shitty little cave.
Goats didn't think so. That was their mansion.
The Ethelbert is happy, but
You stayed there one night.
True, true. Okay, you form up, eat your rations, which are still very much surviving from your Sunderstone expedition kits.
Did we lose a level of exhaustion, by the way?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Taking your long rest. Reduce your level of exhaustion. So, as you begin to head back out, the winds are whipping close around you. Driving rain strikes into your face, and you have to throw up an arm to shelter yourselves. The storm beats heavily overhead, the thunder rumbling and threatening to throw stones down upon you. You see lightning striking up above near the peaks. This is a violent storm to begin the day with. Traveling in this storm is going to be difficult. Whether you rest or not, all travel will cause exhaustion levels per hour, and is also completed at half pace.
Shit. Can't actually go that far then.
no.
6 exhaustion levels and you're dead.
Absolutely.
Goddamn.
Did you say it was half speed as well?
Half speed.
Yeah.
Shit.
Just in time for you to lose your second level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
So, if we go for 3 hours, we're dead.
If you went for 3 hours, you and Bungo would go up to exhaustion level 4.
Confused.
Fail.
But you would only cover the ground
Oof.
of an hour and a half's worth of travel, I think is what you're...
Oh,
So
no.
what you meant was, if you do 3 hours worth of distance, then yes, you would die. Though I mean, I don't think I'd let you travel to you. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't just like, oh, she's dead.
Just keep
You get to
going.
5 levels and be like, I am lying down here. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a certain level you get 0 movement anyway. I think it's
Yeah.
4. 5 actually. Speed reduced to 0.
Blam can carry everyone.
Go on, Blam.
Put us on a sled.
You're a high-level adventuring party. What's the plan?
You're raring to fucking go. Let's go out in the stormy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Traveling?
I think it's pretty much go, but as Hannah said, not very far.
Okay. So you've got another 3 hours of normal, or what would be normal traveling worth of distance to cover. You're traveling at half speed, so we'll do this hour by hour.
The problem is, though, do we want to gather that much exhaustion? It takes days to get rid of it.
It does, yeah. There's another spell that gets rid of it.
There is. It costs diamonds.
Yeah, I don't have enough to clear everyone's. I've got enough to clear 2 levels of exhaustion. That's it.
I think this whole thing was designed that we're gonna get exhausted. There's no avoiding it. It's just making the most of it.
I know, but
So who's the most exhausted at the moment?
Higher we
We're
go
all
up,
either 0 or 1, right?
I got 1.
This is
They're
this is a pretty bad situation, right, Tom?
Yeah.
I'm gonna divine intervention.
Ooh. Okay, what are you calling for before you roll it?
I'm calling for
Never, please.
I think it's pretty reasonable to ask for our next 24 hours to be unobstructed by weather or natural causes.
Okay.
I don't
Roll
think
the
that's
dice.
too unreasonable.
I don't think it's unreasonable at all.
Come on! Fuck. Right.
No,
Wrong
it's gotta
side
be
of
up
it.
Is
Yeah.
that the
there. Other
wrong
way
way?
around.
Wrong way around, yeah. Eh,
Okay.
worth a try.
No, it's a great shout. You reach out for Lyra and you feel almost as if she is holding your hand back, but she can't help you at this time.
If Sandral
Yep.
cast Longstrider
Mm-hmm.
on 3 people, would that help
It would.
in any way?
It would
Help
get
those
rid of-
3 people.
It would. Those 3 people would travel at normal speed instead of half speed. Yeah.
Who would is slowest, and would that slow us down as a big group still?
You would slow you down as a big group, yeah.
Well, yeah.
But if you wanted some people to go ahead, you could.
But then we're just waiting for him to catch up.
Exactly.
So it's the overall time that matters, I guess.
Mm.
I don't think there's anything we can do. We just gotta go. And if we're lucky, we come across.
I don't agree we do have to go. I think
No,
we should try and wait out the storm.
the thing, if we go now, all we're gonna do is get half speed, and it'll just affect us the next day anyway.
Yeah.
And what did we get? What did
Yeah.
we gain? Like 1 hour's worth of.
100%
And
agree.
Sandral, with
I
her
agree too.
extensive experience of the weather,
Mhm.
try and work out how long this storm might last.
Absolutely. Yeah, make a survival check, please.
Oh.
So that 20 roll past.
I
You want to leave it as it is? You want to
Ah,
Heffalump
no,
help?
I should-
Oh, you don't have Heffalump help, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, it's
Uh,
too late to cast guidance, isn't it?
No, I'll allow it.
yeah.
If Sandra was announcing that she was trying to look for that, then Bongo will. I mean, it seems like we're having a group discussion about it. So
I see it more as you calling on Lyra in this time, and Lyra being like, "Sorry, I can't do that, but I will place a little bit of a help on whoever needs it."
yeah, I'll cast guidance on Sandra then.
Yeah, D4.
Actually, in fact, I'll even if you'll allow it, Tom, I'll even cast enhance ability at 2nd level, and give Sandra Owl's wisdom to give her advantage on wisdom checks.
I will allow it. Go ahead and roll again. See if you can beat that 15.
Nope.
Oh.
So
Okay.
19.
19 though, the 4 was big. So looking out into the storm, it is violent. You think probably with the strength of the storm itself, it will kind of blow itself over within a couple of hours.
You get that for the next hour, by the way, Sandra. Just so you know.
Couple of hours.
Yeah. You think probably by late morning, it should have eased off enough to for the worst of it to be gone.
Yeah, she'd look up the sky. She'd look at Eurus. She's like, I think we should wait an hour or two. I think this thing's going to blow itself out.
I agree.
I think that's wise.
Almost as wise as an owl, you might say.
That's why Elodius only keeps owls in his aviary.
Fuck me, that's so the most accurate lore thing you've ever said in
Yeah.
any of our campaigns.
Very easily imagine
And he's got an owl called like, I don't know, Ongren or something.
that. Why can't you turn your head round like that, Norm?
He's definitely got an owl called Norm.
Yeah.
No, better Norm. Norm plus.
Norm 2.0.
So, you sit for a couple of hours, kind of fidgety in the knowledge that you want to be moving for Jorek's sake and perhaps for your own sake if something is happening further down the mountain. But also knowing that there would be a very real physical cost if you were to push yourselves on in the storm. A couple of hours pass, and it seems Sandra was right. The storm clouds begin to clear. The lightning lessens and eventually dissipates entirely. There is still a fairly heavy rain, but it will no longer hinder your speed of movement, and the normal resting rules will apply.
Cool.
I assume you head out.
Yeah.
1 hour on, 1 hour off.
1 hour on, 1 hour off. Got it. Okay, so 2 hours of the day's gone. First hour travel. And then an hour rest. Takes you to about midday. And you're 3 out of the 5 now done. Same again.
So
1 hour on, 1 hour off.
What, do we get charged for the resting?
It's to avoid the
Oh, the exhaustion, yeah.
The exhaustion, yeah, which would affect more of you now that you're higher up, because I think some of
Essentially, yeah,
some of the
absolutely.
humans have a +2 con, which is down to a +1 for the sake of the resting stuff at the moment because of the thin air. No, that passes without worry. You're getting higher and higher up. It's just more of these stairs winding around the mountain. Early on, you guys passed Sandrau, Grey, and Atala. You passed the point that you saw the frost giants move before. Don't see any sign of anything except kind of dents and divots in the rock where their large hands and feet pushed in to climb. But who would be leading your motley crew? Is it Sandral and Grey again?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Best choices.
Could you both tell me your passive perceptions, please?
17.
19.
Grey? 19 and 17. Okay, yeah. Got it. So, as you crest a lip of mountain trail and come towards sort of a more open space where the stairs actually take a dip down and are buried in snow, but you can see stairs on the other side of this short valley, you spot something, and it's a situation where, with your passive perceptions, you both spot it, and you both dive to the floor immediately, because what you see down in the dip of the valley are perhaps the figures you saw the night before. You see frost giants. There seems to be 3 of them gathered around a small area at the base of this valley. They seem to have strange creatures with them. You can both do nature checks for me.
Didn't you say we saw 4 of them climbing?
You did.
Fuck! Nature, you said.
12 for Sandral. 17 for
Oh.
Grey. Okay. Grey, you're aware of this because back in Neverwinter there was a particular criminal that had a nickname related to these creatures. You called him Little Remoraz.
Ugh.
These creatures are snake, kind of halfway between a cobra snake and a very large insect. They have many legs. They burrow
Jesus.
through colder climes, but they themselves have an innate, boiling, furious heat to them. When they bite in, they're able to almost like inject that heat into their prey and cause great fiery damage to that prey. You see, there you are, very nice picture. You see, between these three frost giants, there are two, what look to be, from your knowledge of them, Grey, younger Remoraz, that kind of seem deferent to the frost giants, almost like they're being trained or used by them. Between the three frost giants, there does seem to be one in more authority, kind of barking to the other two. I assume neither of you speak giant, or perhaps you do?
No.
No.
So you're not sure what they're saying, but there's a harsh language booming across the valley itself, and they seem locked in conversation. Could you both do a stealth check for me, please?
Certainly.
Yeah, you both, though not Grey's best work, Grey's mediocre work is still other people's excellent work, and you both seem very hidden flat to the ground. They do not seem to notice you. The conversation goes on as your companions start to filter up behind you. What would you like to do? Final decision of the night before we close the session for today?
I think as the more stealthy one,
Yep.
Sandra would have gone back a bit so
Mhm.
she can gesture to people to get down in the snow as they approach this bridge.
Very nice. You shimmy back, and with a clear gesture with your hand, you wave people down as they're coming up to the edge of the ridge. Grey, is there anything you'd like to do before we sign off?
Yeah, I think I want to quickly, like, I see the situation, I've done the math, whip out my spyglass and see if I can find any signs of this fourth giant.
Mm-hmm. Make a perception check, please.
He's gonna be fucking behind us, isn't he? Oh yeah, 29.
Very nice. So, prone on the ground, almost like you used to be when you were casing a building back in Neverwinter, on the top of a roof. You whip around with your spyglass, scanning the tree line, scanning the crags around, and you do see further up above, near the top of the peaks to your right, high up, a very large frost giant that seems to have sort of squirreled himself away behind some of the peaks and is just now looming up above, and seems to have not spotted you or Sandral, but has spotted the rest of your companions.
God, I was expecting a fucking like Tusken Raider moment when Luke's looking through the spyglass thing. And then...
And with that, we'll end our session for today.
And then Ethelbert's like, "Come on, you bunch of Cs!"